Charlie. Roll Tide, roll, say it loud. We don't give a piss about nothing but the tide. Bama blood in his veins, got that crimson pride. F them trees, yeah, we said it out loud. And I love honeybees, now play it proud. We talking football, basketball, big time recruits. If they ballin' in the South, we lacing up the truth. Hood piano man plays better than three-stroke Charlie. Tougher than nails, smooth, not sorry. Roll Tide, roll, it's in the soul. From Tuscaloosa to the Super Bowl. Wood piano man plays better than three-stroke Charlie.
I sure do. I sure do. I still play better than three-stroke Charlie. I play better than three-stroke Charlie if I just had three fingers. What's up, everybody? It's me. It's the one. It's the only. It's Piano Man. And look, I'm not going to belabor the point here and everything. I got to bring my number one ace to the stage. It's Mr. Boomer Sooner himself. It's the Bishop, the other Gumbo chef. What's up, Bishop?
Hey, what's good? What's shaking?
Oh, man, nothing but the leaf on the tree, man.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Hey, it's good to be amongst you guys. Hey, you better buckle up your seatbelt. It's going to be another crazy ride.
Yeah, yesterday we had, listen, Bishop, yesterday I got some positive feedback about I Want to Know Wednesday. So I think every Wednesday we're going to do that I Want to Know thing, you know.
That
we had some in-depth conversation going. And today we're going to have some more in-depth conversation going. Found a couple of things, Bishop, and I didn't get a chance to hit you and twist up, but we're going to play this by ear because today, Bishop, we're going to kind of take a step back a little bit. Something that I found out, and I kind of want you to elaborate on it, and it's from the financial perspective again, okay? From the financial perspective again, and it's about revenue. This time is going to be about revenue. I'm gonna read something to you, but we're going to take it from two different aspects, and we're going to take it from two different aspects, and we're going to tie some things in together. But before we do that, you know how we do it over here at the Long Run. We got to go over here and say hello to the folks who make this thing go, man. Because if it wasn't for the folks over here in the chat, we wouldn't have it wouldn't be no Long Run. So the first person I see my sissy. I see Kimberly Harmon. Good morning, sis, and Roll Tide to you, sissy. Kimberly Harmon. What the business is, sissy? You know, quit playing girl and act like you know. You better walk like you know and talk like you know what the business is. Good morning. Good morning, Roll Tide Roll. Good morning to you. Stephen Hicks and the Voices of No Mercy. He and OG Gill leading the No Mercy crew. Roll Tide. Stephen, Frankie K, 3600. What's up with you? What's up with you, Frankie K? Yeah. Good morning to you, my man. What's up? Yeah. Who else is here? Let's see who else is up in this joint. I see the Bishop is here. Bishop is always here. Good old William Bryant. Roll Tide, William. Roll Tide, William. Oh, boy, now, William Bryant, that dude you want to take with you on a road trip, Bishop.
Yeah.
William Bryant, that dude you want to take on the road trip. I'm just saying, man. He's that guy. He's that guy you want to take on the road trip. If you really want to have, listen, if you really want to have a road dog, William Bryant is that dude to take with you. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you. So anybody, listen, anybody that's trying to go on a road trip, William Bryant, you need somebody to go with you, William Bryant is that dude to take. I'm telling you now, you will not listen. Entertainment personified. And Bishop, and whatever you say is gonna stay right there with William. William ain't gonna tell a word, man. William, your secrets are safe with William. What's up, William Bryant? Roll Tide, bro. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. I see my producer, Dwight, has made it in. Yeah, man. Not a dull moment with William, man. Not a dull moment with William. My producer, Dwight, is here. Roll Tide to you, sir. Now, here's the other thing that before we go further, we do know now that and I'm kind of I forgot to write this down in my notes. A-Day, just for Alabama fans, but for those that want to just come, hey, you don't have to be a Bama fan to come to A-Day. Come on with it. But A-Day, I'm about to say February, Bishop. Ooh, I wish it was. But April the 11th in the year of our Lord, 2026, April the 11th at 1 p.m. at Bryant Denny Stadium at Saban Field, 1 p.m. A-Day. A-Day will be happening, right? And so from what I'm understanding, Bishop, we're going to have a scrimmage this time. Stephen, you did ask for that. You're going to have a scrimmage. But you know what? Breaking news. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, my God. Yes, Lord. We all know who's in the house, Bishop. We know who's in the house. What's her name, Bishop? I can't pronounce her name.
Lady Latoya.
Yeah, what the business is, Latoya? You know, quit playing, and act like you know, talk like you know, girl. And you better show enough, walk like you know what the business is. That's Lady Latoya, everybody. That's right. Uh-oh, Bishop. Guess who else that made it in here? Guess who else that made it in here, Bishop?
TP, are you with me?
No, not quite. I ain't seen TP yet. Not yet.
Nah.
No, not yet.
Well, then hit me with it.
It's Carla. Carla is in the house.
You
know. Carla, I know. You know what? I ain't even got to go there. Carla already know. You know what the business is. And, and look who else that made it up in here, Bishop. Double A that made it up in here. What the business is, Double A. Girl, you know I know you know what the business is. Girl, don't you start playing. You and Carla, Kimberly and Latoya, don't y'all start playing up in here. Gwen, I see Gwen up in here. Don't y'all even try to play in that like y'all don't know what the business is. Y'all better strut your stuff and act like you know, walk like you know, and talk like you know what the business is. Roll Tide, ladies. Yeah, you know how we do our ladies, Bishop. We got to get them. We got to keep them straight there.
There you go.
Yeah, man. All right, but yeah, but Bishop, anyway, A-Day is April the 11th, 1 p.m. Bryant Denny Stadium, Saban Field. From what I'm understanding, Bishop, there will be some sort of scrimmage.
Because I know ours is the 18th.
Okay, y'all's is the week after. Now, Alabama's on the 18th. From what I'm understanding, there's going to be a some type of concert that next week. So,
okay,
there's going to be some limitations from what I'm understanding, even at the stadium at Saban Field and everything, because they're going to also be preparing for a concert the next week. But it's still going to be, still going to be A-Day this year. This is what I'm proposing. As we find out more, excuse me, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. If anybody can understand how I feel, my sinuses are just doing a number. So please forgive me for my coughing, sounding congested. It's not that I have a cold or anything. It's just these allergies are acting up. And so if anybody suffer with it, can you put it in the chat? You understand which way I'm coming from and all that kind of stuff. So at least I got some sympathy somewhere. All I need is some understanding. I got you, Bishop. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man. These allergies are no joke. Good Lord. But anyway, what I'm going to propose to those who are able to come to A-Day, just kind of think about it. Last year, we had a little deal going, and there was something happening in the zone. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it again this year and everything, but we paid some money. I forgot how much it was, but I'll keep you in the loop if it comes up. But a lot of us, some of us anyway, we paid a few dollars and we went in the zone. It was all you can eat and everything. We sat up there, we fellowship, we had a good time. And if Dino comes up, on here, I'm going to tell him, and even if he's listening, and those that were up there with us, I went through and compressed some video footage of it, Bishop, from last year of A-Day, and I went in my phone to make some room and everything, and ran across a video of Bino, his family, my family, friends, and everything.
Awesome.
Susan was there, and we were just having a good time there in the zone, eating and just fellowship and having a good time. So so that's what we're planning on trying to do again this year. I'm going to put this out there. Dwight has already said that he's coming. And so Latoya, we're going to try. That's the plan, to do it again. But what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to wait and see if they're going to offer that again. And then everybody, was responsible for their own, getting in that zone and everything. But I want to say this to you. Soon as that announcement is made, or that advertisement is made, I'm going to hop back on. I promise you, I'm going to hop back on here, because Bishop, that's one hot ticket just for A-Day, to go in the zone and everything, and we just have a good time. There's some, it's just real nice. So for those of you that's in that Tuscaloosa area, or if you're just in the Alabama, Atlanta area, if you're coming down Birmingham, all that good stuff, hey, if you want to come to A-Day, we're going to make plans to come to A-Day. Now, if they're not going to offer that in the zone, then we're gonna try to get together and do something else. But the plan is for that is to meet at the zone and we just chill. We just chill, just have a good time and watch the scrimmage. We can either watch it from the monitor, or we can step out there in that north zone, sit out there in those seats, and just watch football till they get ready to say time's up. Okay. And so I just want us to have fun. That's it. And if you come to A-Day and you come to the zone, you ain't gonna be able to miss Piano Man, because you see me every day. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what you see is what you get, and we have fun. So don't come there acting like you don't know nobody, and don't come there acting like you're fuddy-duddy. Cause see, I'm just gonna tell you I don't know you, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time and all that kind of stuff. You see how Bishop acted? See, I stud Bishop, man. We just gonna have a good time. Gumbo City. Now I ain't gonna say we're gonna have gumbo at the A-Day now, but we gonna, how we do it. We're gonna make everything spicy and have everybody gonna have a good time. All right. Bishop, I see Martavis has made it to the chat. Martavis, he's Roll Tide. Dr. Crystal, what's up, girl? Girl, quit playing girl and act like you know. Go, come on now. You from Louisiana. You from where the gumbo is, girl. You already know. Hey, Dr. Crystal, I might be down there in your area, but don't tell nobody.
You just did.
Don't tell nobody. I might be down in your area. Right. That's right. Roll Tide to you, Dr. Crystal and Martavius. Now, Bishop, right quick.
Yeah.
Here's the catch, and just for everybody that I hadn't spoken to, good morning and Roll Tide to you. But Bishop, okay. Here. Let me go here. Let me get with the script. I want to get the little chit chat stuff out the way first. Good morning, Zach. Roll Tide to you, my man. Roll Tide and peace and blessings to you, my man. You and your family. First thing we want to do, Bishop, is we want to wish congratulations to London Simmons for making the Dean's List. And we all know that the Dean's List is a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Great job. He's a defensive lineman for the University of Alabama. Great job, London Simmons.
Yeah.
Roll Tide to you.
Big
And
salute to that.
big salute to you, my man. Big salute to you. And continue to keep up the good work, because there's more to life than just football. There's more to life than just football. And these folks that just think that it's all about football, this, that, and the third, okay, keep fooling yourself. And Bishop, I want to say this. And in the words of Double A, you might not agree with what I'm about to say, but here we go. If you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance.
Oof. Hey, it's got inflation on it.
Ignorance is another. It's in another stratosphere of expensive than knowledge. So if you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance on for size. Ignorance will take you somewhere. So I'm with you, Carla. I ain't finna try that. I'm like Earth, Wind, and Fire on a song called "On Your Face." I've been there before, and I don't want to go no more. I'm not gonna go there. So anyway,
Do
congratulations.
you remember how it used to be September?
Watch out now, Bishop. That's my jam now. But on your face, that's my jam too. That's it, man. But congratulations to London Simmons. Also, great news. Another Alabama. We got some more news on the horizon, but I got to pull my Bible out first because I want to see. I want to see something else. Excuse me. Also, on the horizon, Alabama is set to hire Richard Owens as its tight ends coach. Richard Owens he's the Louisville offensive line. He's actually the offensive line coach at the University of Louisville. He's an ex-NFL tight end. Yeah, ex-NFL tight end. Hey, good morning, Twister. Roll Tide, bro. The Gumbo chef with us there. He's an ex tight end in the NFL. He has produced 7 Bishop all ACC picks in the last 3 years.
Awesome.
Yeah, helped Louisville rank in the top 15 in sacks allowed and yards and carry in 2024. So congratulations to they're set to hire him as of last night. They said they were set to hire. I'm pretty sure he's hired, but
Gotcha.
Anyway, welcome to Coach Richard Owens, who will be our new tight ends coach. In another chat that I was in last night, Bishop, and you can kind of elaborate on this, and that's this here. Coach DeBoer is actually making moves. He's just actually kind of going about it
quietly,
in a quiet way.
Yeah,
he's kind of going about it in a quiet way. And you know what, Bishop? I kind of like that. Like that. Go ahead, Bishop.
To let me elaborate, I believe he caught wind of what you guys were putting out in the ether, and then this is a make it or break it type of year for him. So he's moving with some urgency because he's being forged by fire.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's a forged by fire, but you know what I also think, Bishop?
Mm-hmm.
I also think Kalen DeBoer is also not just being forged by fire,
right,
but he's forging the fire. He's forging the fire because he's on the seat. He's putting others on the seat. I'm also of the persuasion that I think there's some more changes on the horizon. I believe that there's another change on the horizon because Bama had too much negativity going on, and you could tell it, Bishop, in the play, in the product, in the product, there was too much negativity there. It was not matching with what needed to be done or what was supposed to be happening. Now I understand, you know, how can I put it? I understand that transition takes place. It takes time. Transitions take place, but transitions take time. But there are some transitions that is not supposed to look like transition. You know, you're not supposed to just look like Ned in the first primer, they used to say back in the gap. You're not supposed to just look like you just out there looking like howdy doody, if you will.
Yeah.
And in some cases, Bama was looking like howdy doody. Good morning, Coach Carl. Roll Tide to your brother, other Gumbo chef, Michelle Cochran. What the business is, player.
But the truth of the matter is, go ahead.
That's the player right there, Michelle Cochran. What the business is? I ain't even got to go there with you.
Oh, what?
Training my dragon. What's up, KT? You know what the business is. Quit playing, girl. Quit playing, girl. You better walk on up in here and run some stuff. I hear you, KT, but the business Roll Tide to you and Michelle. But Bishop,
go ahead.
I think Coach Kalen DeBoer has gotten the message, and he's doing something about it.
Well, see, what I was trying to let you know is that when you have like seeds, they run after their own kind. And when he was forged by fire, now he is eternally lit because his seed has been germinated. And now he's germinating everybody else.
Yep. And so it's refreshing to see that he's doing something about the issue. And I see where Michelle put in the chat, fixing that O-line. That's a part of that tight ends coach.
Yeah.
That's an extension of the O-line. And you know what else, Bishop? That tight end position is also an extension of the backfield. It's an extension of it. It's still an extension of not just the O-line, but it's also in today's game, it's an extension of the backfield. So you're getting 2 for 1. And then number 2, with that, he and Clem, Coach Clem, the new O-line coach, I believe what you're going to see is a working together of two successful coaches, because Coach Owens is actually the line coach. He's the offensive line coach at Louisville. They're bringing him in as a tight ends coach because he is a former tight end. So I see Kalen DeBoer's method to his madness. I see it. It's like a 2 for 1 special, if you will. In this case, you got a tight end who is a former tight end who is an O-line coach who's going to be able to work with Coach Clem from a O-line perspective, but he's also going to be working with the tight end from a tight end perspective. And when you take those two and marry them up, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So that's why I said I think Bama is quietly trending in the right direction. Just have to let that, in the words of Bishop, you're going to have to let that marinate for a while. You want to just let that marinate for a while. And everything. So Bishop, Bama is secretly, I ain't going to say secretly, but quietly trending in the right direction. And I also think that it's going to pay off some positive dividends. But Bishop, I'm going to add a little spice to the gumbo from this jump. You ready for this one?
Okay.
I wonder, will these two gentlemen give some pushback to Ryan Grubb on how the offense could
What
be
do you
run?
think?
I hope they do. I mean, some pushback to the point to where they tell him, look, we not gonna just be this passy guy. We want to be hogs on the line. We want to be the dogs on the line. We want to be able to fire off the line and be aggressive. Just being honest with you. And I'm wondering, are those two guys going to be, you know what, Bishop? Let's go back and do some old folks terms. You remember when somebody say they the P liquor cooler?
Yeah.
I wonder, are these two guys gonna be Ryan Grubb's P liquor cooler?
Well, check this out. If you're making moves like that, you're trying to send let a message be sent that things are changing and that we're paying close attention to this area because we want to be able to use this area. And in order to use it, you do have to establish the run. Now, will Ryan Grubb receive the message and make the adjustment? That's on him and his coaching staff. But I think if he wants to stay on track and stay in the groove, he will fall in line. Because understand, making those type of moves for the offensive line and tight end, you're saying something without saying anything. You're saying, hey, this area will not be the downfall of us. I'm addressing this area so that we can have fresh footing in this area.
I believe like you said, it's sending a message. And not only is it sending a message just to Ryan Grubb, it's sending a message to, I believe, to Gillespie, the running back coach. It's sending a message to everybody offensively because they struggled. It was like atrocious what we saw. Sending a message. So again, welcome to Richard Owen. Welcome to Coach Clem. Welcome to to everybody. But I'm wondering if it's going to, if these two guys are going to establish or provide some pushback and say, hey, we're not going to just be bending and shaking here. We want to apply the pain to the defense. We want to apply pain. Because we want those running backs to eat. We want to see the running backs do their thing. We're not going to just be doing gimmick plays and this, that, and the third. Time out for the gimmick plays, Bishop. It's time, and I mean, and I'm just saying, it's just time to go back to playing some solid football because that's what's going to get you to the game. Because I'm going back to what we discussed yesterday. Now, for 3 years in a row, the Big Ten has done their thing, and they're winning natties. They're winning natties, Bishop. The SEC is not even getting close. That has to change. That has to change. Come on, Coach Carl. I hear you, man. I hear you. Feed me, C Grub.
Well, the bottom line is it's not like it's brand new, but we have to comprehend that the past three national champions were run first and very complimentary football, meaning that according to the statistics and the calculations, when you run the ball more than you pass, there's a greater option to control the pathway of the game and also how the game goes. And 92.7% of the time, they're the winner of the national title.
How much percentage did you say, Bishop?
92.7.
Want me to tell you why they were winning 92.7% of the time?
Why?
Because 95.5% of the time they established what Martavis was saying. They established the run game and physical dominance at the line of scrimmage from the jump, from the start. And you're trying, listen, in my little old school opinion, to me, dynamics start not in a gimmick or gadget play, but dynamics start is when you can establish the line of scrimmage from the jump street. When you establish, and it begins to be a beautiful thing as the game goes on, because now you're wearing them down. They're not putting, but now they're having to play to your strength because now they got weak along the way. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. But it goes back to like what Martavis said: establish. You got to establish the run game and physical dominance. Establish the line of scrimmage from the jump. And I'm just wondering again, are these two gentlemen going to offer some bona fide pushback to Ryan Grubb and all this passy gimmick play stuff that we saw last year? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, only time will tell.
And time gonna tell.
Yeah.
I told y'all I was going through my phone. Coach Carl, I'm gonna see if I can't send it to you today. When I was going through my phone, I ran into a play. Where I was a Bishop when I was at the Eastern Illinois game, and I don't even really want to talk about it, but I'll go ahead since I'm out there now. Bishop, they showed I had showed this play, and instead of them going down the field, here they were one of them darn gimmick plays. And guess what? Eastern Illinois strung it out. Eastern Illinois, in the words of Governor, let that sink in.
Facts.
And can I tell you what, Bishop? Can I
go ahead?
Can I give you the spoiler alert, Bishop?
Go ahead.
It was the same play that Indiana laughed at Alabama about. It was the exact same play.
Oh, so it was on film before the playoffs.
And wait a minute. And Jerm Bernard wasn't even the one running the play this time.
Wow.
Now, if Eastern Illinois snuffed it out, Coach Carl, I'm going to do my best to send that to you today, sir. I'm going to do everything I can do. I'm going to try to figure it out to see so you can see this for yourself.
So remember when I chat? Let's have a chat about this. Remember when I was saying whenever you when you're breaking down film as coaches, whenever you see where you're putting on film that the way they scheme up, if they don't alter it or run variations off of that same formation, it becomes, we call it a tag. It becomes a tag, and if you run it for 12 games, now we know you have put enough samples in that it's now your final exam. So when you run into that play, I know that, hey, for 12 games, this is what you did, and you didn't run any variations off of that same formation and play.
Well, all I know is this right here. These two gentlemen, Richard Owen, Coach Clem, I want to see some pushback. I want to see some pushback, Bishop, from all this foolishness from what I saw last year. I want to see some pushback, and I want to see some old school football going up the middle, up, off tackle, this, that, and the third. Not just now, am I saying abandon all gimmick and gadget plays? No, I'm not saying that. Don't be so predictable with that stuff.
That's the key.
And Bishop, you said it yesterday. All you needed was 1 yard. 1 yard.
Yeah, we're gonna leave.
Stop that play.
We're gonna leave that alone. I understand as a fan. It infuriates, but if nothing else, now when you look at a game or you're at a game, you'll understand how important it is to run variations off the same formation. You cannot you cannot give off footprints, as we call it in coaching. You can't give off footprints, because if you stay with that footprint and that's the only thing you run out of that formation and you haven't shown anything else, all of a sudden, when that final exam come in the playoffs and you run that play, they already know the answer.
I always tell people, Bishop, I never ask a question that I don't already know the answer to. I just want to see if you're going to tell me the truth. I know what the answer is. But I just want to see if you're going to tell me the truth. So I'm just hoping that these two, Coach Clem, Coach Owen, I hope, Bishop, that they provide the pushback and tell Grubb, no, we're not going to do that passy stuff. We want you to challenge our O-line, challenge those tight ends, challenge those running backs of blocking. Bishop, I make this proposal. Coach Carl, I make this proposal. Twister, I make this proposal that even the running backs need to go straight up against the O-line and learn blocking technique. I make that proposal. Go up against them, or go up against the D-line. Go up against somebody's line. That blocking, even with them running backs, was horrible, Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
I make that proposal.
Yeah.
Coach Carl just said, wait a minute. Did I lose it? I should have started. Coach Carl said physicality begins in the weight room.
Yeah, it does.
It begins in the weight room. And so I make that proposal, Bishop, that even the running backs go to blocking practice, go to film study. Don't just come there looking like Howdy Doody, Barney, or somebody, Captain Kangaroo, Chubbs. What we doing out here? Go ahead, Bishop.
Yeah, I just would, I know it's the off season, and I love this here. One thing I would say is no way that a cornerback should ever blow up a 247-pound running back. No way. No how. No ifs.
Oh, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
And without a doubt, that's concerning, because the simple fact is my running back, if I'm in a pass play, is my last line of defense in order to be able to complete the play. And if he can't stand, if somebody's rushing, I need to know that you can do your assignment.
I'm with you, Coach Carl. SpongeBob SquarePants. That's what they look like out there. all we're missing was Patrick.
But you said something about this revenue.
Yeah, we're gonna get off of that for just a minute before I get off into that. But again, once again, welcome to Richard Owens, the new tight ends coach of Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm just hoping that we, like I said, with this newness that's coming, I hope that these two guys offer some pushback. Now, Bishop, I need you to put your, in the words of my daddy, I need you to put your thinking cap on. You ready for this, Bishop?
Yeah. What's good?
Okay, here we go. La-di-da, just la-di-dee. This was sent to me yesterday. And this is coming from the Alabama Crimson Tide, but this was sent to me by one of our chat members, okay?
Gotcha.
The University of Alabama Athletic Department had a budget surplus, Bishop, of nearly $33 million for the 2024-25 fiscal year. Alabama sponsors 9 men's teams and 12 women's teams that play on the NCAA level. Football turned a profit of more than $64.8 million in the 2024-25, while men's basketball profited a little over $9.1 million. I want to get to the full breakdown here, Bishop, if I can. Here we go. Okay. I just read all that. Okay, but let's start all over again, Bishop. The University of Alabama Athletic Department had a budget surplus of nearly $33 million for the 2024-25 fiscal year that ended last summer, according to documents obtained by Alabama.com. The budget surplus was primarily due to one-time investments made in preparation for the House settlement, which resulted in additional scholarships and revenue sharing with athletes. The department also saved money by not having to hire a new football coach, as it did in the fiscal year 2023-24, following the retirement of Nick Saban and the addition of Kalen DeBoer. The reported surplus is primarily a function of the timing, as the increased institutional support was reflected in the 2024-25 report, while the House settlement-related expenses for which those funds were provided were not incurred until the 2025-2026, according to a note attached to the report. Alabama sponsors 9 men's teams and 12 women's teams that play on the NCAA level. Football turned a profit of more than $64.8 million in 2024-25, while men's basketball profited $9.1 million. Now watch this. Women's basketball lost $4.7 million. All other sports, they were not broken down individually, combined to lose $32.3 million. It says other notes from the report says Alabama's athletic department brought in more than $49 million in ticket sales. $42.7 million of that was from football, as well as $26.6 million in direct institutional support, tuition waivers for scholarship athletes, work study, funding for non-athlete students employed by the athletic department. The athletic department received no money from student fees or direct state or government support. It goes on to say, Bishop, the athletics department reported more than $66.7 million in contributions, mostly booster donations, but also the excess amount received for sales of tickets above face value via the secondary market. More than $53 million of that was earmarked for football, with only $2.4 million of that for women's athletics. $1.4 million of that was for women's golf alone. I'm going to read a couple of more paragraphs and a couple more items on this, and I'm going to let you have it, Bishop. Alabama received $57.9 million in media rights. That's the part I want you to hone in on too, Bishop.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
Alabama receives $57.9 million in media rights via its various broadcast contracts, both through its own networks as well as the SEC and the NCAA deals. Postseason revenue bowl games and the NCAA basketball tournaments brought in another $13.1 million. while the department received more than 17.2 million for various advertising and licensing deals. The athletic department spent more than 18 million on student aid. That is scholarships for current athletes, as well as tuition assistance for former athletes who return to school to complete their degrees. And then coaching salaries, benefits, and bonuses across all sports total more than 43 million, while support, staff, and administrative salaries total more than 44 million. The department did not pay any severance or buyouts for former coaches or athletic department employees during the 2024-25 fiscal year. Watch this. The team traveled more than 9.4 million. Team travel totaled more than 9.4 million, while the department spent more than 6.1 million on recruiting travel and expenses. Game day expenses, including paying officials, security, and emergency personnel and other stadium workers, totaled more than 10.2 million. And then it goes. It goes on
Yeah,
long.
it's a fiscal report. Yeah.
It's Bishop. Having read all of that, sir, give us the financial state of. Give me your take on all of this. But when we get to that part about let me back up. When we get to that part about the revenue, Alabama received 57.9 million in media rights.
Media rights. Now, media rights is TV revenue.
Okay. But let's talk about this in its totality before you start breaking it down. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Now, what I was going to say is keep in remembrance that whenever they talk about TV media rights, that's the money that they have earmarked that once you get it, a certain percentage goes to football and then the rest will be divvied up to all other sports. So go ahead.
So with that being said, as far as Alabama goes, what we just got through reading, this surplus, that's what I want you to discuss. The surplus. And we see where this is this telling us that out of this is where this money is going, like these different channels?
Absolutely. That's the breakdown. And when I say a physical report, what they're doing is letting you know what is allocated, how it's flowing, and out of that kitty that we keep talking about, this is how some of the stuff that they don't really speak about where it comes out of. And so you have to bear in mind, if you start hearing the actual report, you already know you got to have you have to have travel, because you got to be able to go to and from games and take care of the young men and the coaches. That's an understanding. But see, a lot of people think it's a different pot that derives from. And so when it comes to TV revenue, that's why that's real good for the SEC, because between us and the Big Ten, we're one of the highest ones in that TV revenue. And that's why a while back, remember, they were trying to get the TV rights solidified. And so that's the whole thing. And this upcoming year is supposed to be $72.7 million in TV rights for the SEC. So what that tells you is, now for us as fans, so we can understand, let's just say 33% of that is going to go to football off the top. And then, make sure that the rest is allocated to other sports.
Wow.
So understanding and that's on top of your NIL. That just goes into the kitty, but that comes in throughout the season. So you account for it up front, but you forecast, and then now that you got the physical report, this is what actually came in.
So Diane says revenue stream is necessary. Time to
Yeah.
increase Coleman Coliseum, lower
Yep.
ticket prices, and
Correct.
full $1 million ban to all away football games. And go ahead, Bishop.
No, I'm totally agreeing with her. Now, understanding this is why you have a board, a committee that's over this, and this is the type of stuff that oftentimes doesn't get spoken about because a lot of people, a lot of fans, want to say, "Oh, we broke, we this." No, you're not broke, but you have to have key components of individuals in those committees and in places to make sure you allocate correctly, so you're getting the most for your money, bet the biggest bang for your buck. And this is why it's so important to, as fans, to start understanding this about the NIL. There's a lot that goes in the kitty. You got the TV revenue, you got what you guys put in, then you got your community NIL, and then you got your national NIL. And you start comprehending and understanding that, then you'll really know who you can go after and what's still allocated. Because remember that this past week we talked about retention. Retention also has to go into that.
And I was just hearing this morning, Bishop, speaking of retention, right about now, Georgia had one of the biggest retention classes this go rip than they've had in a long time. They didn't lose anybody. So therefore that revenue has to also has to match the retention and everything. And that's why some of these guys get let go, because everything has to match up. It's a game. With outside of the game of football itself, there's another game being played, and that's the game of finances. That's the financial game. And it is important, because I'm going to bring another element to this, Bishop. I'm going to bring another element to this. And something that Diane is saying too about revenue stream is necessary. I just want to bracket that right there. Everything else she's saying about increasing Coleman Coliseum, I'm with that. Lower ticket prices, I'm with that. Full, the $1 million ban going to the away games, making sure that they're taken care of. I'm with all of that. But I'm gonna show you something else that now, I'm not the smartest guy I might not be the brightest crayon in the box, but I'm not the dumbest one, and I ain't the brokest one either. Okay. Now,
good.
I went and looked up something else, Diane and William and Jeff. I went and looked up something else.
Talk to us.
I was trying to find it on Google, but they didn't want to cooperate. So I went to ChatGPT, and I asked a particular question. And my question was, how much money does Notre Dame make from being on television as an independent?
Oof. Ooh-wee.
Okay, here we go.
Ooh-wee.
I'm getting ready.
68. I know it for exact. 68.992 million.
Okay, watch this. Watch this. ChatGPT said, they said NBC media rights deal, football only.
Yeah.
It said now, right now, Notre Dame has its own contract with NBC to televise its home football games. Now it says that particular deal currently pays the school about $22 million per year under the terms of an existing contract through 2029.
29.
Right.
Yep.
But watch this, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I said this is something, Jeff, Greg Byrne needs to sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting with everybody. Here we go. Some industry sources project that under a new TV negotiation beyond the 2029 deal, Bishop, Notre Dame could renegotiate for much more, possibly $50 million plus per year, or even targeting $60 to $75 million annually.
Yep.
But those figures are speculative,
right,
and not official yet.
Not official yet. Yeah.
They're not official. Good morning, Bama for life. Roll Tide. But watch this, Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
The number 2 aspect of this total TV related revenue, independence plus other deals. Because this is the part I want to get at. I'm opening up another can of Zataran, Bishop, the big box here, and I'm getting ready to pour it all up in the soap.
Well, then let's get to getting.
Let's get the stirring, Bishop, because here we go.
Yes, I'm already in there.
Get the stirring, let's get ready to get the stirring, Twister and Coach Carl, because Notre Dame is independent in football. It sells its own broadcast rights, unlike teams in conferences that share media revenue. Where you at, Coach Crystal? In broader estimates, that include media rights across NBC and other sources. Bishop, this report goes on to say, some reports say media revenue, TV plus related rights for Notre Dame is around 50 million. That's what you were saying. 50 million per year from NBC alone under current arrangements. Additionally, Notre Dame earns TV revenue from its ACC agreement for other sports about 17 million per year. Putting those together, total broadcast related revenue for athletics, if combined conceptually, can be in the 67 million to 70 million range annually, though only the NBC portion is directly tied to being independent in football. Watch this bit. I'm not done. The third component, college football playoff payouts. Independence gonna make sense. It's gonna start making sense to you here in a minute of what just happened. You ready, Bishop?
I'm ready.
Independence also affects how Notre Dame is paid from the college football playoff TV revenue pool. Notre Dame, starting Gumbo, Bishop, real fast because I'm coming with some more spice.
I'm ready.
Notre Dame is entitled. Where is governor when you need it? Think about that. Let that sink in. Notre Dame is entitled to its college football playoff revenue directly without having to share it with a conference. Entitled. This can add about 12 million per year in base CFP distributions, plus additional bonus money if the team makes the playoff. So in a typical successful season that includes CFP games, the playoff payout can significantly boost what the program earns from TV TV-related revenue. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, in preaching was that as I close, NBC TV deal, $22 million currently per year. Combined media revenue outlook, NBC plus the ACC for other sports, roughly $67 million plus per year under current arrangements. CFP TV revenue share, $12 million base with potential for more in playoff years. The main takeaway, Notre Dame's independent status allows it to sell its own football TV rights, NBC deal, keep all CFP revenue and not share that money with other schools, which makes its TV income unusually high compared with many other programs, even if it's generally less than what major Power 5 conference schools get from their league's media contracts. Thus ends the reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Bishop,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep this, like I said, I'm not going to play chess with this. I'm just going to play a simple game of checkers. Matter of fact, I'm just going to play a simple game of spades.
There you go.
Big joker, little joker, deuce spade, deuce diamonds,
Deuce.
everybody else fall in line. Bishop, in what was just sent to me with Alabama and this surplus,
yeah,
that's nothing compared to what Notre Dame is doing media-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I might not be the brightest crayon in the box, but I'm not the dullest one, and I'm not the dumbest one, and I'm not the brokest one. But Bishop, don't you think Alabama might need to be thinking it's time to do something else?
Yeah. Hey, documentation beat conversation, and that opens up a whole bunch of eyes.
Martavis says they need to join the conference. Martavis, no, they don't. They do, but they're not. And you know what, Martavis? And after reading that, I don't blame them.
Mm-mm.
I don't blame them. Joining a conference in that for football? No, sir. I don't blame them. Martavius, to me, what Alabama needs to do is take a page out of Notre Dame's book and see what you can come up with. Let me ask you something, Bishop. Who just won the NCAA? Okay, watch this. Let me play it this way.
Go ahead.
The Big Ten has won the last 3 natties, right?
Correct.
Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana, right?
Correct.
But in those 3 years, who's the most talked about team out of the who gets talked about the most?
Bama.
You don't be hearing nothing about Michigan. When Michigan won it, you didn't hear nothing about them. Ohio State wins it the next year. Indiana just won it. And all of the talk is about who? Alabama. Folks, now for those of you that's listening and paying attention and everything, you can chime in. For those that's not, you can keep on talking amongst yourself. But here's part of your reason that some things are going awry, because Bishop says when I'm eating gumbo and I'm eating in front of him, he say, caring and sharing. Sharing is
Yo,
caring, sharing
man.
is sharing. When you have to share part of your $59 million, when you have to share part of your surplus with other schools that's in your conference, that takes a big chunk of your revenue. I'm just saying. And all I'm asking you, Bishop, now is to elaborate on how this all works. What Notre Dame has going versus what the SEC has going. Let's just keep it in the SEC.
Now, let's understand there's pros and cons now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're independent, and yeah, they keep that. But when it comes to scheduling opponents and trying to stay abreast to make the playoffs, there's tricks and trades to this. And so, yes, if they can get there, it's just like when they lost in the CFP Natty, they got 28 million for losing because they're independent. Above all the other finances that for participating in there. So, there's everything is for a reason. Now with Notre Dame, it's a reason why they haven't came to any Big 12 or Big 10 or any conference, because they like the situation that they have, because they can maximize their revenue and their dollar input compared to what's going out. So when you have checks and balances, it votes well for them to stay independent until a certain time that they see that it's worthy. Well, if you look at the cost analysis profile, it doesn't make sense for them to come to any conference.
Right. Dollars and cents, money. And they want to keep that. And
they fight. They fight to keep it.
They fight to keep it. But it goes back to like what you said, Bishop. But when it comes down to scheduling,
yeah,
the competition now is not there. It's not there.
And so that's my thing with this prevailing upcoming season. I'm concerned that, okay, now Notre Dame doesn't have USC. Usually USC is, pretty much ranked to give them the strength of schedule. But now looking at their strength of schedule, with not having them, it just makes you wonder, are they easier to make the 12-team playoff based on who they put in place of USC?
I'm getting ready to look at something right quick, Bishop. I'm going to
Go
look
ahead.
at something right quick. Keep talking.
Yeah. But what I remember, we went over that. I'm talking to chat. You go ahead and look up. Remember, we were talking about how when we talked this past Friday, we went over to understand that when you have these different streams coming in, you also got to know what's going out. And see, a lot of times we only hear about the NIL kitty, but now we're starting to understand in the NIL kitty, you also have your retention coming out of it. You have your travel coming out of it. You're having your miscellaneous to come out of that. On top of that, you're having to go into it, your revenue. So, you start adding that up, and then you do retention. Let's say in your best cat, you do 70 players of retention. You're looking at 28 to 38 million just to retain. sometimes 30, 35, depending on, because I based that now, what I just based it off of, if you average player earn NIL was 375,000, a minimum. And I understand there's different players, but the average, if the average is that per player, then that's how much, in order to retain that many people, that's how much you would have to put toward that. And that comes out of that kitty. So when it comes down to actually putting your people on scholarship and whatever NIL that you had agreed upon to bring them in, that comes out of there. And then on top of that, now it's portal season after your signing day, and now you have to, what's remaining, piece together what you need in order to fill the spots necessary to be ready for the next up and coming year.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm sitting here looking at Notre Dame's this past year's schedule, Bishop.
Yeah.
And their first two games, they played Miami. They played in Miami, and then they played Texas A&M. Their third game was against Purdue. Then they went to Arkansas. Then they played Boise State. They played North Carolina State. They played They played USC. They played Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford.
Now, off of that, I understand that USC is no more. They're not in there, and they probably replace it. Who in there is in the top 20, 25?
Just only Miami and Texas A&M. That's it. That's it. Their first two games. That's it.
And I understand that this was last year, and I'm not sure if we got the new schedule, but we know the one team that's off, and who do they replace it with? I don't think it would be someone in the top 25.
I'm not sure. You know what, Bishop? Hold up. I can do this right quick. Hold up. Wait.
So remember, what I'm driving at and trying to piece it together is, remember when they made that deal with the NCAA to ensure that moving forward, if they are ranked in the top 12, they automatically get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they are. They're going to be in, and that's what I was just telling. That's what I was just about to tell Jeff. That what's up, Curtis Ellison? Roll Tide. I was about to tell Jeff that for now, the college football playoffs is still at 12.
Right.
It's still at 12.
Still at 12. Okay, now they're still at 12.
It's
Check
still
this
at 12.
out.
But what I'm about to say though, Jeff, but the way that it is set up, you've got your conference chaps that's going to be in plus Notre Dame.
Now, remember, okay, hold tight. Hold tight. Let check this out. You got Notre Dame.
Come on.
And you got your two FCS champions.
You sure did say that. Elaborate some more on that, Bishop.
Yeah.
Break it all the way down.
Those three spots, as long as Notre Dame meets their deal, and then the two champions out of the FCS, they get two of the spots. That leaves 9 spots left for the rest of the schools to go after.
Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? And that's where that disadvantage for everybody else comes in, and that's what's going to make them play. But here you go, Bishop. Here's the schedule of Notre Dame for next year. I just pulled it up.
Gotcha.
And here we go. Wisconsin on September the 6th. Their first game is Wisconsin they play Notre Dame in Lambeau Field. The second game they play Notre Dame plays Rice. The third game is at Michigan State. Now, mind you, Bishop, those first 3 games, basically, well, for Wisconsin, that's going to kind of be a home game because they're playing at Lambeau Field. But It's just right up the street from Notre Dame. So Notre Dame is gonna flood Lambeau out. All right.
Okay.
So that game is gonna be a sellout. I'm talking about even to the point to where out in the parking lot, it's gonna be just as many there tailgating there. Then it's gonna be just as many on the outside as it is on the inside. So I forgot how many Lambeau holes, but you're gonna have just as many on the outside.
Right.
So that's going to be money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
But see that, and now understand. Go ahead and finish it. And so we'll show that of the 3 teams you talked about, do you think any of those going to land in the top 25?
No. Wisconsin,
Right.
Rice, Michigan State. Now watch this. Then Notre Dame goes to Purdue.
Okay.
Then Notre Dame goes to North Carolina. Then
Okay.
Stanford comes to town.
Okay.
Then Notre Dame goes to BYU. Maybe them.
Maybe them.
Maybe them. Notre Dame goes to Navy. Then Miami comes to Notre Dame. Maybe
Okay.
them.
Maybe them. A strong them.
Boston
To
College
start
comes
off
to
the
Notre
year.
Dame. Boston College comes to Notre Dame.
Okay.
SMU comes to Notre Dame. And then Notre Dame goes to Syracuse.
Possibly SMU. Okay, so 3 possible strength of schedules that they have to win those games.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
What I was driving at is that the way they're set up, as long as they take care of the necessaries and they're able to maneuver through it, they have a greater percentage chance of making the playoffs based upon their schedule.
And Bishop, see, and to me, that's what's, I don't know. To me, that's what's so unfair because they're still playing. Now, watch this. You're still playing SMU, ACC. You're still playing. Let's go back to it, Bishop. You're still playing Syracuse, ACC, SMU, ACC, Boston College, ACC, Miami, ACC. Yeah, you're still playing those in the ACC. Wisconsin, Big 10. Rice is Big 12. Yeah. Rice is, yeah.
Either that or the Mountain West. I'm not
something
sure.
like that. Michigan State, Big 10. Purdue, Big 10. North Carolina, ACC. Stanford is ACC.
ACC.
BYU is Big 12. Navy is the American. Wait a minute, I got it right here.
Yeah, American
Conference.
Yeah.
And Miami ACC, Boston College ACC, SMU ACC, Syracuse ACC. So why you're playing all these ACC schools, but you in football, but you won't join the conference? It goes back to those television royalties again. All those rights and contracts and this and that and the third. And I think those are the things that need to be addressed, Bishop, because come on, let's just go ahead. Unless something crazy happens, Bishop, Notre Dame gonna be in the playoffs with that schedule.
And what I was driving at with that, then there's only 9 spots left after that.
That's what you're driving at. So 9 teams. Bishop, this is what's getting to me. When you put it that way, this is a 9-team race because 3 of them are already guaranteed, and Notre Dame is one of them. Look at the schedule.
Facts.
So when you couple everything that we've talked about as we discuss revenue, Bishop, everything that we have discussed, Bishop, everything that we have discussed, everything, Bishop, when you put it all together, it favors Notre Dame. Yes, Alabama got that 33 surplus, all that money, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. But the fact of the business is when because Bama is in this conference, it goes back to like what I said with the carrying and the sharing, and then you got to disseminate this money. And Notre Dame
Don't.
get fat like a rat in the wintertime. I'm just saying, man.
Hey, in fact,
what's up, I bleed Crimson? Wait a minute, and I got to throw this in there.
Go ahead.
Where did I bleed go, man? Oh, here we go. I got to put that on the big screen. And now you got these extra added games with this 9-game SEC schedule now, and the revenue that comes out of that money has to go to those other teams, go to those other schools. No one school corners anything. They don't sit on the can, if you will. It's got to go out. Notre Dame, on the other hand, we're just talking money, Bishop. We're talking finance. We're not talking scheduling. We're just going to talk finance.
Finances.
Notre Dame sits on the can.
And if they get in the playoffs, they get paid to be in the playoff games. And they don't have to share. And they don't have to share. And you wonder why they don't want to get into a conference, because they get paid well.
I believe, I'm just going to say it one more time, bro. Greg Sankey got duped real good. He fell for the okie doke. Hook, line, and sinker. They did that. Okay. Oh, I better stop. Because I don't want to say nothing wrong. But I just put it like this. I'm going back to my initial statement, Bishop. If you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance.
Let me stew on that.
You think knowledge is expensive? Try ignorance. And to me, you set because I got to say us, because you set the whole SEC up from where I'm sitting, because under the certain guise of things, Bishop. That's what we fussing about. I wouldn't have mind no 9-game schedule like that. But when you when you got now 3 teams that automatically is going to get into the playoffs, and I'm not guaranteed an automatic spot, we got a problem.
And then on top of that, think about it. You just might not get in with a 9-3 record.
And there you go.
Makes it a little more, because that's the key to comprehending when we go into this next season, that there's only 9 spots. And on top of that, what does that tell you? That if we get 3 or more, we're going to end up playing one another if we make it into the playoffs. Ain't that something?
I'm with I believe right here. And when he said, I don't blame Notre Dame, but I also don't care for them, I don't either. But Alabama needs to go on offense and quit sitting around like a duck in the pond. And I agree with that. But I'm gonna add something else to that, Jeff. That means get out there and score and put the nail in the coffin, because now you playing for your life. You playing for your playoff life. You're playing for it. And Bishop is saying it was just right. All the revenue in the world don't mean a thing. You fool around here and go 9-3, 10-4 if you want to. You just might be sitting at the door going to the Rely Quest Bowl again.
Or the Pop-Tart.
Or the Pop-Tart Bowl. Or the Snoop Dogg Bowl.
Snoop Dogg.
And keep on fooling around, you're going to the Toilet Bowl.
But
That's
hey,
that's how this has gotten.
and see, this is why. Understand, this is why I call this year being forged by fire. Because
Yes.
if you do not make the necessary changes, you are kidding yourself if you're going to even sniff the playoffs.
You listen. It goes back, and I'm gonna go on and just say it because of the way things are set up. Everybody, and where are we on time? Okay, yeah, we got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we do.
Because of the way things are being set up, y'all better hear Piano Man when he says you better win your conference. Might want to win. You might want to
Now,
win.
all I got to say is if the floor, you need to be 10-2 if you want to be considered to go into the playoffs. 10-2 is the
10-2.
the benchmark.
So Alabama fans, Alabama fans. So let's just look at it. Let me see. No. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So Bishop, here we are. September 5th. This is the Bama schedule now. September the 5th, playing East Carolina at Bryant Denny. September the 12th, we go to Kentucky. September the 19th, we come back and we play Florida State. September the 26th, we play South Carolina. October the 3rd, we play Mississippi State. We play them in Stark Vegas.
Right.
October the 10th, we play Georgia. October the 17th, we go to Tennessee. October the 24th, Texas A&M comes to Alabama, and that's homecoming.
Okay.
November the 7th, we go to LSU. November the 14th, we go to Vanderbilt. November the 21st, we play Chattanooga. And November the 28th, Auburn comes to town. Now, in the words of the bishop, somebody tell me where the gauntlet is. What's up, my Piercy? Tell me where the gauntlet is. Tell me what game. Tell me, and this is going to be a subject for another day, but tell me what you see. Tell me what you see out of that schedule. So yes, I'm gonna with what Stephen Hicks had to say. You better come ready to play. Yes, what I think it was Jeff. One of y'all said yes. You better get ready to establish the line of scrimmage. What Coach Carl said.
Facts.
Yes, I'm with what Coach Sean said. Looking at this schedule and looking at how the ramifications of this thing go, you better be ready to play week in and week out. Because trust me, after East Carolina, you ain't got no cupcakes. J. Cole. You sure about that? We're going all the way. I should hope so. I would hope so.
Yeah.
But J. Cole, Piano Man, gonna help you beat. No. I can't help you do anything. All I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna say this. Just be realistic.
And all I'm gonna say is I like your flavor, J. Cole. Here's the deal. Documentation beat conversation. And the game is still played on that gridiron.
Yep.
And
Twister, hold up, Twister. Hold up. Why not? Hold up. Go ahead. I just want to get that right there.
Yeah. And so what I was saying is that yes, I have faith to that they will make the necessary adjustments, but the bottom line is they're the ones that's gonna have to play this game. I can only be a fan and be an old coach, but when it comes down to it, when you go through that gauntlet, you find out a lot about your what you put down and what you believe in. And so, with that said, hey, all I'm saying is the bottom floor is 10-2. So that means you only got 2 games you can afford to not be, that you come down to the wire and they just get you. Because 9-3 with the strength of schedule and with only 9 spots left doesn't vote very well.
And none of these games, see, all I'm saying is this right here. I don't want none of y'all to think that I don't have faith in Alabama. I do. I have faith. But I also know what Bishop just got through saying. When you sit down and you start looking at this schedule, and I'm about to let you in on something. Florida State, what's that guy's name? What's the quarterback's name? The one that just left. Campanella. Campanella. Yeah, Campanella. Campanastos. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, he came from Boston College. Yeah.
The one came from Boston College.
Yeah.
Well, y'all do know he went pro, right? He declared for pro, right?
Right.
But guess who took his place, Bishop?
Please share.
Ashton Daniels.
That sounds familiar. Wasn't he at them trees?
Auburn.
Mm.
And
Okay.
he lit Alabama up.
So once again, this is where these subtle moves that Coach DeBoer is making and making sure that I really hope that it pays dividends, because understand in this upcoming season, everybody knows, hey, the format has been laid down by Indiana. Now they know you cannot make it unless you have a running game that complements your defense.
And that's why I said, I hope that Coach Clem and Coach Owens, the O-line coach and this tight ends coach, I hope that they provide the necessary pushback. The necessary pushback to Ryan Grubb on how this O-line and those tight ends and those running backs will be utilized. I hope, Bishop, that those two guys will provide the necessary pushback and tell him, hey, look, they're not up there just for the health now. And they're not up there just to help your quarterback pad 1,000-yard stats and this and that and the third. We want to see, we're out here to win games. And we're out here, and I want to say whoever it was Jeff, Steven, Martavis, William, one of them said establish dominance, the physical dominance, Coach Carl, at the line of scrimmage. And Coach Carl said physicality begins in the weight room. Why in the world would you put your guys in the weight room for strength? And wait a minute, Bishop. Yeah, since I'm gonna go ahead and stir the gumbo and add this last thing Mazetta ran to it. I bet not hear Diane, William, Kimberly, Bishop, Coach Carl. I bleed. Can I tell you something? I bet not hear nothing about somebody being too aggressive. I bet not hear it. I bet not hear it. Did
Yeah,
not hear that this year, Bishop. J. Cole, I did not hear that this year.
hey, that doesn't, that's an oxymoron to say that you're too aggressive.
That you're too aggressive. Twister, I bet not hear somebody say that we benching somebody on the O-line because they too aggressive. Let me find out. What's up, Ja'Cory Roll Tide? Let Piano Man find out that someone from the Bama over there done said that we're not gonna play him because they too aggressive. Let Piano Man find out, and I guarantee you we gonna have church on here. We gonna have a come to Jesus meeting up in here. Listen, you gonna come to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit when I'm through with you. That's right.
Yeah, that's
Bishop, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
I bleed. Come on, man. Say it. You telling an old lineman that he's too aggressive, it's like telling a wide receiver he's too fast and I bleed. Can I add something to that? And don't catch the football.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Ain't that what you're saying? I bleed.
Oh.
Come help me out now. Isn't that what you're saying? You too fast, so I can't throw you the ball because you too fast. Kind of foolishness is that? So you gonna tell an old lineman he's too aggressive? Man, you gonna make me take my hat off. Throw it down. And y'all know how it is when I throw my hat down. I'm angry then, but it's still the off season, Bishop. Let me.
Hey, that's why I tell you that we use this time to just piece together so that we understand going into it that they know, we know that, okay, this 9-game deal that you don't put us in, Sankey, something ain't adding up. The multiplication and the math on it ain't mathing.
That ain't no gumbo, Bishop. That ain't even no gum. I'm with you, Stephen Hicks. I'm telling you now, aggressiveness. And you telling me you don't want me to be aggressive? Man, like I said, it's way too early. And I understand it's just February. But let me calm myself down. But let me find out that mentality comes up in this season, Bishop. And I got some news for everybody. Y'all ain't gonna like me at all then. Because that's foolishness. Wait a minute. Who said? Wait a minute.
Let me clear my throat.
Somebody just said something here. Wait a minute. There's my Pierce. But cause she, my Pierce said something. But wait a minute. Something else. I should have, because this chat got to jumping.
Because they know what good gumbo is. They know they don't got the good gumbo today. We don't put it on them. And how we got this moment, please run up the likes. This gumbo is not and for everybody, but those who are in here know that this is quality gumbo. So run those likes up. Now back to our
regular scheduled program. Well, somebody
this,
I can't find this because I don't think they took it out, but I can't find it right quick. But somebody said, don't come in with this darn Cinderella offense. And I totally agree. Come in all that Cinderella stuff. All that kind of stuff. Come on. And that's why I'm telling you all that I want us to be, hey, if they better have a scrimmage today. I don't want to see the walking wounded like I saw last year. I'm talking about Alabama. I want to see some hitting. I want to see some hitting, Bishop. Now I ain't telling you to hit to take a rascal out. I want to see some hitting.
I tell you what, it's just nice that these universities are bringing them back, because last year's spring game, it wasn't even a spring game for us. It was just like It's almost like the Olympics or something they try to put on, but it wasn't the same as having an actual game.
I believe. I need you to repeat that statement that you said, sir. Because I want to give you credit, but I want you to put it in the chat. What you said back away, because I can't find it. I want you to put it the way you said it, and because I saw it, I saw what you wrote and everything, but I need you to put it. I need you to put it in the chat, man. I need you to put that in the chat. I really do. I need you to put it in the chat because
Throw some fire in the chat. How we doing this?
Put that in there. And let me see. J. Cole said fairy tale. I don't want to hear exactly. That's that Cinderella stuff. But I want to yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Right there. No more Cinderella offense, Deborah. He saying DeBoer, but you running this girly stuff. Come on, man. Man.
Come on. And when the last time you heard a coach or someone from your staff say we're too aggressive?
Too aggressive? Like what? Too aggressive? I feel like Charles Barkley. Y'all remember back? What's up, Twister? Y'all remember back a few years ago when and I don't know if y'all watch NBA basketball like that, but a few years ago there was a fight broke out in a game with the Rockets and the Clippers, whoever it was. And they got the fight on there until they said they had a police presence, right? It took that doggone Charles Barkley and Shaq said police presence. And Charles Barkley said, I played in the NBA for 15 years and I've been doing broadcasting for 18 years. He said, and this is the first time that I've ever heard of police presence. He said, police, are you kidding me? He said, I'm sorry, America. This is what we've come to. This is the first time. Look at him. I'm 64 years old, Twister. I'm 64 years old, Bishop. And I'm going to tell you something. This is the first time in my natural born life. I played football for years and a day. This is the first time in my natural born life that I've ever heard that a coach said that a O-lineman was too aggressive. Are you kidding? I feel like Charles Barkley. Are you kidding me?
It's an asinine to me to hear that crowd that Jane Roberts was too aggressive of the O-line. And it's just like, if all my land, like I said, I'm about to be 40 years old in a couple of months. And I'm hearing this garbage of how an O-line is too aggressive for your line. That's what you need on the team. That's softness. It's watered down soft in my eyes. I'm like, and we are like, how are we too aggressive? That's what we need. That's why we got bullied by these teams. They get into the quarterback because what, you trying to be so cute and finesse? We are known for bullying defensive linemen and linebackers for the running backs to run the ball, man. Why in the world we are worrying about being too aggressive? That's what you need on the team. That's what you need on the team.
For sure.
That's the number one thing you need on the team is aggressiveness, the hunger to win the game. And you gonna talk about they too aggressive, man? What kind of coach you are, sucker?
I'm telling you, and Dwight, it was said, bro. It was said. It was said. Trust me. You know me, Dwight. I would not be saying nothing about, and I sat on that for a while. I sat on it until the season was over. I sat on
Dwight, it's true, bro. It's true. Look it up. It's true. They said it. They said it, bro.
I sat on that.
Could you imagine, though? Just think about it. They are saying this. We're sitting on it, but you had to go play a playoff game against Indiana, where if you didn't have that, oh my goodness, that just That
No,
don't.
no, 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 Bishop. Bishop, let me say this. Oh yeah, we don't want to be aggressive. Let's just play nice football with Indiana. That just block the quarterback and block for the quarterback and open lanes for the Indiana defense and all that other crap. And then all of a sudden, we don't want to be aggressive Indiana because that's just Indiana. Man, go out there, Indiana, dog walk, scud dragged and almost knocked us out of the goddamn system all game, but we don't want to be aggressive. Man, Indiana mopped the floor with Alabama to the point they didn't know what to do. And the coaches just gave up. But Jalen Roberts too aggressive. Okay. The biggest, the strongest guy on the team. You sat him on the bench. We all thought if his ankle's hurting or he hurt, is he sick? Is he got some family issues? That's why he emotional. No, he's too aggressive. I'm like, dude, remember back in 2023 when he was just pancaking the hell out of Georgia Bulldogs in that championship game? How you just knocking them down left and right? Oh, that's too aggressive for you. We got to get back to being Bama, man. All this or whatever these people talking about, man, let's just get back to playing football. Like aggressive football, the hunger. Don't let this money, this MIL, this transfer portal. And one more thing. Everybody talking about building teams up. How are we going to build teams up when we got to keep on changing players almost every year? How can we build a team up and we got to turn around and make sure them jokers going to stay? We got to sign them back on the team. Like I said, man, I'm not used to all this new era garbage, man. It's trash to me. I'm sorry. It's just get too soft. Real too soft and watered down. I ain't gonna never get over it. I ain't gonna never get used to it. How can I root for my favorite player on the team and we don't know he gonna be on the team the next year? And then you gotta wind up how to sign him back on the team or you gotta pay. How can you build a team up? You gotta buy them every year to make sure they loyal?
Just
I'm
saying,
sorry,
man.
man. It's BS to me, man. And
That's not football under. No, I don't give a hoot if you're playing. I'm gonna put it to you like this: I don't care who you playing, where you playing, under what venue you playing. Aggressiveness starts in that aggressive. Wait a minute. This just hit me, and everything. Twister and Bishop. When you lifting weights, you're not being Cinderella-ish about that. If you talking about physicality starts in the weight room, you ain't passy in that weight room. At least you better not be.
So then,
it develops. Lifting those weights like that actually puts you in a certain mindset of aggressiveness. I know it did for me.
So then, now let me piece this together. He said he was too aggressive, but when you want them to eat weights, you need them to be aggressive. That math ain't mathing.
No, that ain't no gumbo, man.
And it ain't just you gonna lift the weights to be the strongest guy on the team. You gotta use your nimbleness. You gotta use your athleticism. You could be as strong as Hercules. You could pick up a whole goddamn building. If you don't got no nimbleness to compete and use your athleticism and some of your speed, you're gonna get beat. Even though you're the strongest man on the world and on earth, you gotta be nimble too with it too. It got to be balanced. You got to have the strength as Hercules, and you could be as nimble as Hermes, the goddamn Mechanor god of Olympus. You got to be both. You got to be balanced. You could have the strength and the athleticism to compete. It's like just you got to. You can be strong, but you got to be balanced. You got to have that speed to go along with it. Yeah, you can be strong and lift weights. You can lift about 600 pounds and all of that, but you got to have that strength and nimbleness too with it. Athletic.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
mm, 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 mm.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying you got to come with it, and it was in the mindset, man. And I'm finna tell you this, and if people don't want to admit this, first of all, Bama was having O-line problems as far back as 18. They were having O-line problems as far back as 18 before Saban left. They were having O-line problems. The last natty that they won, Mac Jones didn't get sacked that many times. They were getting to Mac Jones too. When Bryce Young took his first time at starting, go look it up. Bryce Young, I want to say, was sacked. I'll put it to you like this. He was sacked over 40 times.
40.
When Jalen Milroe got back there, everybody was hollering about he's sorry, he's this and that and the other. But nobody was looking at the O-line. For those 2 years that Bryce, Jalen they were dealing with the same O-line. With the same O-line. They were dealing with it. What made Jalen shine was his ability to escape it. To escape it. That's the goddamn truth. And they were declining. The Alabama O-line was in decline all the way. All the way. And so last year, when you go and look at it, there was no physicality. None at all. None. No physicalness. None. Not a lick of physicality at all. Not at all. Not at all. It's a lot of stuff. And I just sat on stuff. Now, whether people want to choose to believe it or not, and they ain't even got but the proof is in the details. Go look and see it. Go. Just check it out and see. Now, let's see this year. So let's throw all that aside. Let's throw all that out the window now. And now you're going to have to build. Caden Proctor left. And something else. Wait a minute. Something else, Bishop. I was intending on putting out there. Let me see if I can find it. Right quick. Let me see. We got that. We talked about that. We got that. But here we go. Is this it right here? Wait a minute. Okay, well, let me see if I can't find it again. Well, you do know this is something I was trying to figure out. Where do I find? Okay, hold up. Because right quick, hold up, because I know I thought I saved it. I think it's right here. Here we go. Right here. This is what I want to get to. Right here. Now, yesterday, and we're going to end with this here. Yesterday, it came out, Bishop and Twister. 12 Alabama players earned NFL Combine invites. 12 of them. 12 are, now watch this. Simpson, Jam Miller, Jerm Bernard, Josh Cuevas, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Caden Proctor, Tim Keenan III, LT Overton, Justin Jefferson, Deontay Lawson, and Damani Jackson. I'm going to go back through it again. Damani Jackson, Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson, LT Overton, Tim Keenan III, Caden Proctor, Jaden Roberts, Parker Brailsford, Josh Cuevas, Jerm Bernard, Jam Miller, Ty Simpson were all invited to the NFL Combine, right? Watch this. 3 players, Alabama players, they declared for the draft. They did not receive an invitation to an NFL Combine. Cam DeBerry, Geno Vandermark, and Nakai Hill Green did not receive invites. Of the 12 did. Those 3 that applied or they declared for it, Vandermark, Dewberry, and Nakai Hill Green did not receive invitations. Now, what am I getting at? We were just talking about your O-line. Notice. Well, I'm going to put Cuevas in it, Brailsford, Roberts, Proctor, NFL, DeBerry's gone, Wilkin-Formby transferred. So Bama's going to be working with a brand new O-line. Michael Carroll and what's the other guy's name? Other big boy. What's his name, Bishop? What's his name, Twister? The other big boy. Yeah, Michael Carroll. You had this other guy. Let me look in the chat. Somebody, hey, Linda P. Point I'm making is now I want to see some production. All this talk about production, all this talk about this, that, and the third. Yes.
You talking about that big guy from Texas? The one we just got? Or you talking about we already had?
Let me see if I can find it.
I think it was your Michael Carroll. I think that's the only one we got left. I don't know about the other ones now. Everybody left but Michael Carroll.
Yeah, Michael Carroll.
If I'm not mistaken now.
It was another lineman. He was a freshman. They would bring him in too. Michael Carroll. Let me see. I'll pull it up in just a second. Oh, here we go. Michael Carroll. Jackson Lloyd.
I don't hear his name much. I ain't heard of him.
Jackson Lloyd.
Okay.
He was a lineman. He came in sometime.
Okay.
They were not starters. They came in, and everything. But Jackson Lloyd, Michael Carroll.
Rotating.
They rotated. There you go.
Okay,
They rotated in and out. Down the stretch, they did. But you're gonna have a brand new line. So I want to see some production. I want to see what's what. I
hope so. Then we got this new O-line coach, and he mean business. And we just got a new tight end coach, and we got a wide receiver coach. I think we're gonna get better. Offense gonna get better. Mm-hmm. It seemed like to me the O-line coach we just got, he's a no nonsense coach, man. He look like he mean business and bring that aggressiveness back, so we can get our running game back going again and get our defense and get our offense going again like it was. Mm-hmm. But last year was unacceptable.
We got to do better. We got to do better. With that being said, well, anyway, y'all, that's about it for today. But I just wanted to kind of bring that to the forefront, talking about these finances again, this revenue and this, that, and the third. And me personally, we gonna be like this and all that kind of stuff. What Notre Dame got going, Alabama's still the most decorated team in college football. Sound to me like Alabama need to be independent, but the scheduling has a lot to do with that, and I understand that. But They're guaranteed a spot in the college football playoffs, all that good stuff. You know, I'm just saying. I'm just
Wait a minute. Let me ask that one more question. So you mean to tell me Notre Dame guaranteed a spot in the playoffs?
Bishop, explain that again.
Please.
Okay.
I gotta hear this again.
Okay. If Notre Dame lands in the top 12, they are after last year, they are guaranteed to be in the playoffs. So that means there's only 9 spots left for the rest of us to fight for.
I call that bullshit. Because what about how that record gonna be? I call that bullshit.
Bro.
I'm just being, it's stupid. I'm like, really?
I hear you.
Really?
Yeah, but go back and look at their go back and look at their schedule. Look at their schedule. It favors them, Twister. It favors them. So it's about wins and losses. And
let Alabama take their schedule.
Well,
that's all I'm gonna say. Let us take that schedule.
All we saying is that Sankey, certain times you've been good, but this time they duped you into this one.
Yeah, that's all we're saying. What's up, Dino? That's all we're saying, that when you go and compare schedule, we know it ain't no guarantee, but I'm gonna tell you what, it tends to favor them a whole lot more. Because if you go throw up there, then it goes back to like what Twister just said. If you go throw up their schedule versus Bama's schedule,
it don't add up.
It don't add up.
And another thing, I ain't mean to cut you off, sir. I ain't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna say this. And another thing, okay, so the strength of schedule don't mean a hill of beans anymore. Then, if all these players can, they complain about the records and how they get easily like Indiana and all the Big Ten teams getting skate to the playoffs with no gufflets. Like what we gotta go through. We gotta beat the hell out of each other every week. We gotta bring out a game every single week for 9 weeks. And the Big Ten just can skate their way to the playoffs. And we get there, like I said yesterday, we limped to the championship. When then Oklahoma and Alabama had to beat the hell out of each other just to make it to a next round. And Indiana just sitting high and pretty. Okay, we got Alabama. And Alabama wounded, and got demolished because we were wounded from a goddamn gruesome beating that we had to get from Oklahoma to get there, to get where we at.
All I can say, hey, Twister, is that
competition, man.
Yeah. Now, understand the strength of schedule is a key component, but when you come to Notre Dame, I don't think strength of schedule, since they got that little quirk that everybody agreed to for Notre Dame, if they're in the top 12, no matter the strength of schedule, they're in.
They're in.
And then the two.
But how can you tell yourself the best team in the country with that goddamn Johnny Fruit schedule you got there, bro? It's just like, to me, I'm like, come on, man. Like I said before, if you want to be the best of the team, let's go best against best on the first game and see what it measure up from the season going forward. That means, like, if we can beat this top 10 everybody brag about and we beat them, that means we gotta keep it going. Okay, we good. If we lose, okay, what's our mistake?
Right. But check this out. Now I'm gonna go even deeper.
Go ahead.
Family. Us as Alabama and Oklahoma don't fall to number 8 and 9. You already know who's playing each other.
That's it. That's the bottom line. That's why I made the statement, Bishop. You heard me when I said it.
Yeah, I know.
Win your conference. Win your conference. They gonna keep this conference thing going. Your best out is to win your conference and draw the bye.
And
anything other than that, you gonna play all the way through.
And speaking of conference, how many guys on the Big Ten? How many teams on the Big Ten? Because the SEC, how many we got now? 12?
What's that?
And the SEC, the teams. And the
We
SEC
got
is 12
16.
of us?
Got 16.
16, brother.
16. Okay. How many is in the Big Ten?
18.
Mhm.
Think
18.
about
18.
Yeah, but are they top heavy?
it. No.
No.
I ain't gonna lie, the SEC,
I mean, but
like,
we already established that.
Yeah.
That out of 25 teams, 11 of the 25 is in the SEC, and Alabama by themselves played 9 of the 11 teams.
yeah. Like I said, yeah, let me say this, Pierre, man. And I don't care, I'm biased, whatever. Yeah, I don't think the Big Ten better than the SEC because no competition up there. We still dominate, beating the hell out of each other, and then we just get, we just soften up for them to easily so-called say we better than the SEC. Nah, you had an easy skate. You was sliding down with skis, man, right down the snow. And we just getting our asses whooped every week.
But that might be true. But at the end of the day, though, Twister, 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. 3
Yeah,
years
man,
in a
we
row.
got that schedule. Alabama be a 3-peating champion, probably be by 5-time champion back to back. If we had their schedule,
But
they know what they doing.
But you know what though? But here's the catch, and I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just calling it for what it is. Okay, like I said, when you break it down, and I broke it down for everybody per conference. I broke it down of who all was in, who was in, who was out. At one time, the Big Ten, there was Indiana, there was Ohio State, there was Michigan, there was there was Indiana, Ohio State, Michigan. Okay, I got it. At one time, there was Ohio State, there was Michigan, there was Indiana, there was Oregon, and there was Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Those 5 were ranked in the top 25. At one point, they were.
Yeah.
As time went on, it began to dwindle, and it stayed there between Indiana, Michigan. Well, no. Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. Those 3 were in. All right.
And I'm saying Illinois was ranked too. I think they were ranked 9 at one point. Illinois, I think.
Illinois, but I'm talking about at the end result of it all.
Okay.
It was just those 3. Those 3. Indiana, Oregon, or Ohio State. Those 3 were there. When it came down to the SEC, at the end result, it was Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia. Right there. All right. Then we know about Miami. We know about then you had your FCS, those FCS teams, FCS teams, and then you had everybody else, right? Now, what ended up happening was in that you said it, the first round. In that first round, you had Bama, Oklahoma going at it. You had Texas A&M, Miami going at it. All right. So, like what you said, they canceled each other out. But then in round 2, because you had Ole Miss and Tulane going at it in that first round. But when round 2 came, you had Ole Miss and Georgia going at it. Then you had Miami, wasn't it Ohio State? Yeah. Miami and Ohio State going at it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was just one of those things that couldn't be helped. And then Indiana played who they played. And then at the end of the result, you had Indiana, Miami, and we all know how the story ended.
Yeah.
But you're right in what you're saying. But I'm still going to go back and say this. Winning since you got to throw the conference games in there, even though people were saying that or alluding to or giving off the vibe that they did not want to play in the championship, their conference championships game, because the threat was that if they lost it, they wouldn't get in the playoffs, which ended up not being true. The only team that didn't get in was Notre Dame, and we all know why. We know why. Notre Dame started the season 0-2.
Yeah.
And they lost to the two teams that were in the playoffs, and that was only fair. And that was Notre Dame's fault that they did not win. Point that I'm making is that I hear you. Scheduling, strength of schedule matters only, William, when it comes to certain teams and certain conferences. That's how that's running. So until they change it, and you know what else, Twister? And here's where you're going to be raising sand next year. You ready for this? When
I'm ready.
They go from 12 teams to 16 teams, now
Lord.
watch and see how it goes.
I know your time is about up, man, but man, people gonna hate me if I start talking about this. But I'm gonna let that slide for the next show.
Wait till it go from 12 to 16, and then we gonna have no. Twister, I'm gonna let you have a whole segment, bro. And go on and just let your hat down. Because guess what? Then after the 16, then somebody else gonna come along and raise sand, and guess where they're gonna go to next? 24 teams. Now you watching this thing.
It don't make no jet blasting sense, man. It just don't make no sense.
Watch and see. William saying strength of schedule matters, and you're exactly right. But you better add something to that, William. It only matters.
No, I got to disagree on him. I got to. It don't matter in Hill of Beans anymore. If you got a strength of schedule and you still ain't gonna make the playoffs, even though we won some games, yeah, there was a strength of schedule, and we ain't like we tough enough to take them out, and then we still can't make it.
And then
but you got the sorry got their easy schedule, and they claiming they the better team, and you didn't play anybody to get there. I thought it's best against best all the way till we get there.
Bruh, let me tell you something.
I'm just saying, Doc.
Bro, let me tell you something. Look what Dwight said. The SEC was 4-10 in bowl games. 4-10 in bowl games.
I know.
But you know what? But for the last 2 years, SEC ain't been there. And so he said, we look weak to everybody. That's where your problem coming in. But it goes back to like what you said, Twister. It's going back to what you said, because throughout the course of the year, we tearing each other up. I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
I ain't got no answer. Like I tell y'all every day, the other man don't know everything. I just know what I'm talking about. But I wish I had all that. I wish I had the answers to fix this.
Man, I wish I was a fly in that room, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I'll tell you what, Notre Dame wouldn't be playing that weak as water Kool-Aid schedule that they got. They wouldn't be doing that if I was some darn commissioner somewhere. You would be joining the conference. I don't give a hoot what what's the channel? NBC got to tell you. If I was a commissioner, I wouldn't care if Joe's Thanksgiving turkey wasn't showing up till next 4th of July. You gonna join a conference. That's what you're gonna do. I wouldn't care.
So basically, they just automatically, we go get in the playoffs. I'm like, what did you do to get there?
but Steven, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna get ready to get out of here. UGA won playing weak schedules. Yes, they did. They did. But guess who they couldn't beat? Remember when the SEC was SEC East and West? Georgia was going through that East like 95 going south to Miami, Florida. But who was it that they did not want to play, Stephen? Come on, OG. Who was it they didn't want to play?
Alabama.
And who was it they couldn't beat?
Bama.
They couldn't beat Bama. They done beat what they 1-2. Watch this. Kalen DeBoer done been there 2 years and done beat Kirby Smart twice.
Twice.
Folks want to get rid of it. Twice. I'm just saying, man. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Growing them up to be the
sorry,
next top
American.
team in the country.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But we getting ready to get out of here. Twister, give me some parting words, bro.
Man, God bless y'all, man. Good morning to the chat. Roll Tide, everyone, man. Enjoying my day off, man, again. And just, I had to pop out. I know I popped out here late, man. I was like, let me go say a little couple of things about this because what you and Bishop were talking about was interesting about the aggressiveness or the O-line and all that whoop-de-whoop. But other than that, man, y'all have a good day, a good good day, blessed morning. Hope a better evening. Y'all just be safe out there wherever y'all at. Y'all stay safe and stay dangerous. And God bless y'all. And roll tide.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Twister and Bishop had to go there and everything. Coach Carl, everybody in the chat, 401k crew, No Mercy crew, drinking crew, all the other crews. We are in the Mardi Gras season. You got you and everything. And Stephen Hicks, I showed that we've been saying it. Winning is gonna settle it all. Winning will settle it all. But anyway, everybody, that's our show for today. Just remember this. Continue to stay focused, drive, and go forward in the name of the Lord. And remember, you can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. I promise you can. Now, remember, this kitchen is big enough for everybody to cook in. And at the end of it all, everybody gonna get something to eat. And that's what we try to do, is to make sure everybody gets something to eat. So to all podcasters and broadcasters and everybody, get out there and do your thing. Somebody's going to enjoy your cooking and all that good stuff. So just always remember, Piano Man don't know everything. I just know what I'm talking about. So just remember this, everybody. It's cool to be a fan. Just be realistic in what you do and what you believe. So with that being said, God bless you. Have a great day. And just now, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of Bishop, Twister, Coach Carl, B Sharp, and all y'all in the chat, the 401k crew, Governor, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to say the kitchen is closed, the gumbo chefs are gone, and Piano Man is out. God bless you and roll tide. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.